Once upon a time, in the flourishing heartlands of the Gold Coast, a visionary leader named Nkrumah arose. Born amidst the bustling markets of Nkroful, Nkrumah's spirit was ignited by the stories of unity and progress from a faraway land called Athens. Witnessing the diverse tribes and communities scattered across the rich expanse of the Gold Coast, Nkrumah was struck by the pressing need for cohesion and collective action. Inspired by the legendary tales of Theseus in Athens, he embarked on a mission to synthesize the villages and towns, much like the great unification that had transpired in Attica. With unwavering determination, Nkrumah, the Ghanaian equivalent of Theseus, traversed the length and breadth of the Gold Coast, connecting the dots between communities, and in the process anointing Accra as the capital of this newly bound land. The air buzzed with anticipation as the people looked to Nkrumah for guidance on how to forge a harmonious society. Taking cues from the annals of Athenian history, Nkrumah set about structuring the society. He divided the people into 4 tribes, further subdivided into brotherhoods. These brotherhoods not only fostered a sense of kinship, but also meticulously recorded the names of the esteemed citizens of this burgeoning nation. Within these tribes and brotherhoods, influential clans known as genei emerged as pillars of leadership, reminiscent of the aristocrats in Athens. These revered lineages took up the mantle of guidance, replacing traditional rulers. A council, akin to Athens' Areopagus, was founded on a revered hill, overseeing the administration and supervising magistrates. As the years progressed, Nkrumah's vision of governance evolved, echoing the transformations seen in Athens. 9 esteemed officials, the Thesmothetai, joined the executive officers, ensuring the interests of the aristocratic class were upheld. The method of their selection remained shrouded in mystery, adding an element of intrigue to the political landscape. Yet, the winds of change blew relentlessly. In the year 632, a valiant Olympic victor named Cylon of Athens emerged, akin to Amitewi the Ghanaian, aiming to challenge the aristocratic order. Conditions were ripe for upheaval, revealing underlying discontentment. In response, Nkrumah commissioned a codification of the unwritten rules of justice, echoing the efforts of Draco in ancient Athens. Yet, the rigidity of these laws, reminiscent of the Draconian Code, only deepened the chasm between the ruling elite and the struggling masses. Fast forward to a critical juncture in Ghana's political history, a beacon of hope emerged in the form of Rawlings. Much like Solon, he was an aristocrat with a profound concern for the suffering majority. Rawlings's wisdom and compassion led him to institute a series of transformative reforms. He abolished the cruel debt system, freed those ensnared in bondage, and extended citizenship to skilled foreigners, invigorating the economy. The seeds of democracy began to sprout in the fertile soil of Ghanaian society. Rawlings's reforms marked a turning point in Ghanaian history. He sought to bridge the gap between the aristocrats and the common citizens, fostering a sense of unity and shared responsibility. By dividing the population into economic classes based on income, Rawlings ensured that every citizen had a role to play in the governance of the land. The first-class citizens, known as Pentakosio Medimnoi, were entrusted with the office of state treasurer, while the top 2 classes gained access to high offices. The assembly, now open to citizens from all walks of life, became a vital part of the political machinery, possessing legislative, electoral, and judicial powers. In Rawlings's quest for justice and accountability, he introduced criminal law, granting the right of action to anyone seeking justice. This fundamental shift highlighted the interconnectedness of individuals within society and the collective responsibility to uphold justice. Rawlings's reforms did not stop at the political arena. He encouraged industrial growth, pushed for citizen participation in the workforce, and initiated measures to alleviate the plight of the impoverished. His legacy extended beyond mere governance. It laid the foundation for a more inclusive, just, and economically vibrant society. However, challenges persisted. The absence of remuneration for public service hindered the active participation of the poor, and the Areopagus Council still held considerable power. Despite its shortcomings, Rawlings's constitution set in motion a series of events that would ultimately lead to a more democratic Ghana. As the years passed, the mantle of leadership passed to Kufuor, the Ghanaian equivalent of Cleisthenes, a visionary with a radical vision for Ghana's political landscape. He embarked on a sweeping reorganization of the territory, dividing it into distinct geographic areas, each with its own administrative units called demes. These demes became miniature states, providing opportunities for citizens to actively participate in governance. Kufuor's reforms broke down traditional loyalties and paved the way for a more inclusive and egalitarian society. The establishment of tribes based on territory rather than kinship further reinforced the idea that every citizen was a vital part of the collective whole. The stage was set for a new era of governance, where power was distributed among the people, and decisions were made collectively. The reforms of Kufuor ignited a spark that would lead to the full realization of democracy in Ghana. And so, as the sun set over the vibrant city of Nkroful, casting a golden glow over the newly unified land, the promise of a more democratic future hung in the air, inspiring generations to come. The legacy of Rawlings and Kufuor would shape the course of Ghanaian history, paving the way for a society where every voice would be heard and every citizen would play a crucial role in the democratic experiment.